Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back of the 8 round of 4 winners games. 7 Korean players are through, but this is a foreigner versus foreigner match. Which foreigner will advance through? It's Huck versus Naniwa.
Oh my, oh my, oh my. I think if there was a match that you could ever call an MLG Classic that didn't involve Idra, it would probably be this one.
Yeah, I mean, these two players have been both champions of MLG, long considered to be some of the best foreign Prodosses at one point in time. Each player has been considered the best foreign Prodoss before, so they're getting started. Both players have said they're ready. We're going to hop into the match right now. It's on Bell, Sheer, Vestige, a Prodoss versus Prodoss between 2 MLG gold medalists.
And it's going to be an interesting one as well, because this is, of course, Heart of the Swarm PvP, which is very, very different to what we've seen from these guys previously. As far as I'm concerned, the record is wiped clean, so let's see where it goes, folks. Belshire Vestige on the way between Huck and Naniwa.
Well, both players have spawned, so let's go ahead and introduce who they are.
In the bottom right corner, from Team Alliance, it's Naniwa. And in the top left corner, from Team Evil Geniuses, it's Huck. Now, the last time we saw these here 2 Protoss scum was back in the winter of 2012. You know what I say? Hell, it's about damn time.
You know what, Sean?
What, Total Biscuit?
I think we've been replaced.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the voice of Tychus Finley, Neil Kaplan.
Well, hopefully my voice will be hoarse enough by the finals day that I have that nice, deep, grumbly baritone, but until then, I'll just continue sounding silly.
I can get you back at 20 if you need them.
So it looks like Huck is actually going to be going for the early double gas. Naniwa going for the single gas. When you go for double gas, you can't quite afford to build probe number 18. Excuse me, probe number 18. So we oftentimes see core on 17 out of players who do this, or just a delayed core in general. But out of Naniwa, it looks like we'll be seeing an instant cybernetics core.
All right. Well, the interesting thing about this matchup now, of course, is the addition of the Mothership core. The fact that the standard kind of 4-gate play that we saw in Wings of Liberty generally doesn't work as well anymore. And as we saw in the late game, we did get a chance to peer into the particular style of Huck now and Heart of the Swarm in PvP as he deployed Tempests against State in the late game to great effect.
Oh yeah, I mean, like the whole composition of Wings of Liberty used to just revolve around the Colossus and then soon enough the Archon, but Tempest providing not just an excellent alternative to Colossus, but now you don't have to begin building them early. You can start off being aggressive with Dark Templar, with Blink Stalker, and then get the Tempest quite late, quite far into your opponent having a lot of Colossus. Now, Huck is already doing something very, very, very interesting in the opening. He has placed 3 in each geyser almost immediately, which is something that you would virtually never do unless you are going for some sort of Dark Templar rush, which it looks like Huck is going to be doing.
Yep, mining that much gas that quickly, getting the Twilight Council down almost immediately. Now, the question, I suppose, then becomes, does he decide to proxy that Dark Shrine, or does he decide to put it in the base? We've seen a lot of popularity in terms of putting that Dark Shrine somewhere else on the map.
I'm a big fan of putting it in the main base. By doing that, I mean, you might get scouted a little bit more easily, but it's a very useful structure late into the game. You can continue to do DT harass. No, it looks like Huck is going to be going for a hyper fast blink play. And look at this, he's already sending his Mothership core straight into Naniwa's base to scout, and Naniwa is going for a 1-gate expand. Huck's build is fantastic against this. I mean, the rate at which Huck is getting his blink up is absurd. I mean, he's sending out a probe along the left. This is a very, very nice timing from Huck. He's going to have blink at around 7 minutes.
That's ridiculously fast. I mean, I haven't seen that in a very, very long time, and that could work incredibly well. With that many gateways behind it, we were, of course, talking about the idea that 4-gate's not so much of a big deal anymore, but this really fast 4-gate blink could do an incredible amount of damage.
This is already a really dangerous position to be in as Naniwa. Huck looks like he knows that there's an early expand. He's actually darting right up to it. He's building that pylon boldly directly in front of it. And he's just going to sit out here and begin picking away. His warp gate research is almost finished. So there's a 2-round aggression from Huck. Round 1 is moving in with that blink regular stalker warp, and that's going to freak Naniwa out. He's going to throw down the photon overcharge. And then Huck blinks into the main base for a quick, nice win.
Now, the only thing I'd be concerned about at the moment is the possibility of a weird, funky base trade with those pylons being placed around the left side of the map. The possibility that Naniwa says, oh no, this is happening to me. Well, the response is just to sack my natural and then try to go for some kind of base trade. As it stands, Naniwa is attempting to get an immortal out.
This is a really, oh my God, Naniwa.
The blink's not done yet.
Perfect timing. Its blink is not done. Naniwa waited until he had 3 force fields and then moved in, picking off a lot of those stalkers. So even though Huck did get a pretty nice photon overcharge at a pretty early time, he's not going to have that many stalkers for this blink play. I mean, Naniwa's timing is amazing. Naniwa actually skipped observers and is going straight in. And look at this. Naniwa's building pylons in Huck's base.
This is already absurd right now, and here it comes. The engagement coming in from Huck as he tries to engage right there, but right now he's trying to deal with what's in his base as well. He's going to have to deal with that, and Naniwa trying to chase those away. He's able to do so, and at the moment it is already madness. With Huck attempting to defend with Zealots, he's going to be able to clean that up.
Gosh, that is a brilliant series of moves there by Naniwa. I mean, he only has 2 gates and a single robo, but he correctly identified what his opponent was doing. Correctly went straight for the immortal without going for the observer, and suddenly Huck doesn't really have any opportunity to break in. So it looks like Huck is going to transition into Zealot Sentry and try to bust the front.
All right, well, let's see how this goes for him. The Mothership Core starting to pick away at Naniwa's immortal there. We'll have to get out of there. Last thing he wants to do is to lose that. Oh, Time Warp goes down to save it. It was 200 energy on that Mothership Core. He did not want to lose that. They're able to get out of there. Now as we see the sentries moving into position, it's still a big army from Huck, but the fact of the matter is that natural has been mining. Not a huge amount, there's only 5 probes on the mineral line, but it is there. And here we go, the immortal trapped in there, almost immediately is going for it. The Sun's trying to get a connection on here. The second immortal trapped in the back, it's not going anywhere right now. Great focus fire coming in right here from Huck as Naniwa attempts to desperately defend. Third immortal is getting focused down here. The sentries doing what they can. Is there enough? There isn't enough.
Naniwa's stunning defense manages to keep him alive again, but in about 30 seconds, that photon overcharge is going to evaporate. So it looks like Huck is trying to find an opportunity to get in there and pick off that immortal, but a second one is done. Naniwa with just 2 gates and spending all his chrono boosts on his robo facility means that he is getting an immortal up every 37 seconds, so he can get those up in big numbers. Huck needs to make a gigantic play right now.
Well, Huck's trying to get a lot more Zealots on the field instead of trying to get out Stalkers to deal with those Immortals. He's going in for the engagement right now, trying to get good target fire. The force field goes down, nicely protecting those Immortals. There's not enough Zealots here for Huck. It's not going to be enough to break this at all. Naniwa breaks out, smashes that Stalker offensive, and at this point, Huck's army is in absolute shambles. There was very little left, and a great hold again from Naniwa.
It's a very low econ game, both players still hanging under 30 probes. We're seeing that those warpins in the main base are just ripping the probe count apart. Oh my God, Naniwa taking out so many workers. I mean, Huck needs absolutely all of his warpins devoted to the front line, but he can't do that. Nope. Naniwa slowly adding in probes, getting another Mothership Core, and in fact, very boldly getting an observer in this position, realizes how far ahead he is, and right at the moment when Huck is starting to think, finally, I'm getting a little bit of an ease-up moment, 2 more Zealots waltz right in.
Naniwa is playing this so smart, it beggars belief. You know, a lesser player, GG, doesn't even get the chance to finish that sentence. Naniwa absolutely crushing Huck in the first game. Very quick attempt at the 1-base blink play. Naniwa evidently not concerned. Really smart decision making there.
Yeah, I mean, Huck's build was really nice. It was an incredibly swift blink play, much faster than you would really see with any other build that I can think of. And I watch a lot of StarCraft Total Biscuit, but I mean, Naniwa, you only really get to see how unbelievably brilliant he is when he's pushed to the limit like that, and you see, yeah, I don't care how fast your blink is, I have the perfect answer already prepared.
Yeah, it was really, really smart. A lesser player would have dedicated all of that defense to the natural. He wouldn't have thought about putting down pylons in his opponent's base. He wouldn't have thought about even risking, and with only 2 gateways, risking throwing down those zealots in his opponent's base as opposed to at the front to defend. You'd think, he's got twice the gateways I've got. He's got blink. There's no way I can afford to lose those units, and yet Naniwa makes that decision and is able to effectively crush Huck. And the question, I suppose, then becomes, what does Huck do next? Will he be the aggressor once again after a solid thrashing at the hands of Naniwa, or will we see a little bit of a reversal of role?
Well, the next map is going to be MLG Whirlwind, so stay tuned. Game number 2 coming up on one of the biggest maps in the map pool.